Tomorrow, January 29th, something extraordinary is about to happen in the sky, and it's going to unlock a message that's been waiting to reach you. This isn't just another planetary alignment. This is the moment when the planet of communication merges with the planet of love in the most futuristic sign of the zodiac. And when it does, the words you've been waiting to hear will finally break through. Most people will wake up tomorrow and go about their day completely unaware that the universe has just opened a direct line between hearts and minds. But you're going to feel it. You're going to receive it. And for 3 specific signs, this message is going to arrive in a way that feels almost supernatural. A cosmic broadcast is about to transmit across the airwaves of reality itself. Mercury, the messenger, is locking into Venus, the lover, at the exact same degree in Aquarius, the sign of telepathy, technology, and future connections. And when these 2 planets merge, they create a portal for words that have been trapped in silence to finally be spoken. And if you've been having vivid dreams about someone specific lately, or feeling like you're about to hear from someone out of the blue, keep watching. Because there's one specific reason why this is happening to you right now, and I'll explain exactly what it means later. So stay tuned. But first, you need to understand what's been building up to this moment, because tomorrow's conjunction isn't happening in isolation. It's the resolution to an energy storm that's been raging for the past week. And once you see the full picture, you'll realize why the message you're about to receive carries so much weight. The pressure has been building. Let's talk about what just happened. In the last 3 days alone, we've witnessed 2 of the most intense astrological events of the entire year. On January 26th, Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, and the subconscious, entered Aries for the first time in over 160 years. Then, just 1 day later, on January 27th, Mars collided with Pluto in Aquarius, creating an explosive force that shattered old power dynamics and brought suppressed desires to the surface. Think about it. Neptune dissolving boundaries, Mars and Pluto detonating everything that was being held back. The collective unconscious has been cracked wide open. Old fears, buried emotions, unspoken truths, they've all been stirred up, brought to the edge of consciousness, demanding to be expressed. And that's exactly why tomorrow matters so much, because Mercury and Venus aren't just meeting in the sky, they're arriving as the relief. They're the conversation that comes after the explosion. They're the I'm sorry after the fight. They're the I love you after the silence. If you've been feeling like your emotions are all over the place this week, if relationships have felt tense or chaotic, if you've been on the verge of saying something but couldn't quite get the words out, this is why. The pressure has been building, and tomorrow it releases. 2 lovebirds on a fence. Here's where things get really interesting. Every degree of the zodiac carries a symbolic image, a kind of cosmic blueprint that reveals the deeper meaning of what's happening. And the degree where Mercury and Venus are meeting tomorrow, 14°56 Aquarius, has one of the most perfect symbols imaginable. It's called 2 lovebirds sitting on a fence and singing happily. I know, it almost sounds too perfect, right? But this is the actual Sabian symbol for this degree, and it tells us everything we need to know about what's coming. The lovebirds represent partnership, the inseparable bond between 2 people who belong together. These aren't solitary creatures. They're defined by their pair. They don't just exist near each other. They harmonize, they mirror, they complete. The fence represents a boundary, a safe perch above the chaos. After everything that's been happening, the Mars-Pluto battles, the Neptune dissolution, these lovebirds have found a place where they can rise above it all. They're not in the storm anymore. They're observing it from a place of safety together. And the singing, this is Mercury, this is the voice. The lovebirds aren't sitting in silence, they're expressing their joy. They're vocalizing what they feel. The love isn't just felt, it's spoken. So when Mercury and Venus align at this exact degree tomorrow, they're activating this image. They're creating the conditions for 2 people to find their fence, to harmonize their voices, and to sing the truth they've been holding inside. And for 3 signs in particular, this song is going to sound like the words, I love you. The listener wakes up. There's another layer to this that most people won't pick up on. In human design, a system that maps the energetic blueprint of consciousness, the position of 14-degree Aquarius corresponds to something called Gate 13, the Fellowship of Man, also known as the listener. This is the only gate in the entire human design chart that's purely about receiving. It's the archetype of the person who holds space, who hears the secrets, who creates safety for others to confess their truth. And when both Mercury and Venus activate this gate at the same time, something remarkable happens. The listener finally hears what they've been waiting to hear. Think about it. Mercury is the voice, Venus is the love, Gate 13 is the listener. When all three align, it creates a perfect circuit. The speaker finally speaks, and the listener finally receives. The message that's been trapped in the throat of one person lands in the heart of another. This isn't a broadcast to the masses. This is a whisper between two people who have been waiting for this exact moment. It's the confession that's been rehearsed 1,000 times in silence. It's the "I love you" that's been written but never sent. Until tomorrow. And here's what makes this even more powerful. Tomorrow is a master number 22 day. In numerology, 22 is known as the master builder. It's the number of turning dreams into reality, of building something tangible and lasting from pure vision. So when someone says "I love you" tomorrow, it's not just words floating in the air, it's a foundation being laid. It's the first brick of something real, something that has the potential to become a lifelong structure. The dream message isn't just romantic, it's architectural. The three signs who will hear it. Now let's talk about who's actually going to receive this message. While the conjunction is happening in Aquarius, its energy radiates outward, activating different areas of different people's lives based on where Aquarius falls in their personal chart. And according to the astrological geometry of this transit, three signs are positioned perfectly to hear the words "I love you" tomorrow. But each one will hear it in a completely different way. Leo, the declaration of commitment. If you're a Leo rising or a Leo sun, this conjunction is happening directly in your 7th house, the house of partnerships, marriage, and committed relationships. This is the most serious formal placement for a love message. This isn't a crush confessing their feelings. This is your partner stepping up. The 7th house is the domain of the other. It's where you meet your mirror, your equal, the person who stands opposite you and completes the picture. And when Venus, the planet of love, and Mercury, the planet of words, merge in this house, the message you receive is about partnership. Leo, you've been through it this past week. The Mars-Pluto conjunction that happened on January 27th was directly opposite your sign, creating massive tension in your relationships. Maybe there was a fight. Maybe there was silence. Maybe you weren't sure if this person was really in it with you. But tomorrow, that changes. The message you hear is the resolution. It's the moment your partner drops the defense and offers their heart. It's the "I choose you" that you've been needing to hear. And when it comes, it's going to feel like the storm finally breaking. This isn't just "I love you." This is "I'm committed to building a future with you." This is the peace treaty after the war, and it's real. Libra, the romantic renaissance. If you're a Libra rising or a Libra sun, this conjunction is lighting up your 5th house, the house of romance, creativity, joy, and the spark of falling in love. This is where the butterflies live. This is where the crush becomes something more. This is where love feels like magic. Unlike Leo's serious 7th house commitment, your message is playful, flirtatious, and full of life. The 5th house is about the thrill. It's about being adored, being desired, being celebrated for who you are. Libra, you've been carrying heavy energy lately. The weight of responsibilities, family obligations, emotional burdens, it's all been piling up. But tomorrow, that weight lifts. The Mercury-Venus conjunction in your 5th house is like a breath of fresh air after being underwater. The "I love you" you hear might come in the form of a creative gesture, a song sent via text, a poem slipped into your messages, a confession that's been wrapped in humor or art. It might be someone finally admitting that their crush has turned into something deeper, or it might be your partner reminding you why you fell in love in the first place. This is your glow-up moment. Someone is seeing you, really seeing you, and they can't keep it to themselves anymore, and when you hear it, you're going to remember what it feels like to be adored. Aquarius, the self-actualization that magnetizes love. And if you're an Aquarius rising or an Aquarius sun, this conjunction is happening directly in your first house, the house of self, identity, and your physical presence in the world. This is the most personal placement possible. This is about you. When Venus enters your first house, you become magnetic. You radiate beauty, charm, and grace without even trying. When Mercury enters your first house, you become eloquent, witty, and captivating in conversation. And when they meet at the exact same degree, you become irresistible. But here's the thing, Aquarius, you're not just receiving a message tomorrow, you're broadcasting one. You are the source of the energy, you are the lighthouse, and people are drawn to your light. You've been the epicenter of the storm this week. Mars and Pluto collided in your sign on January 27th, putting you through an intense pressure test. You had to face something about yourself, something about your power, something about who you're becoming, and it wasn't easy. But tomorrow, you emerge transformed. The message you receive is a reflection of your own evolution. People see the change in you, and they're responding to it. The I love you you hear is the universe confirming that you've leveled up, that you're finally embodying the version of yourself you've been reaching for. You unlock the message by speaking your own truth to yourself first, and when you do, others can finally love you the way you deserve to be loved. The moon will deliver the message. Now let's talk about timing, because this isn't going to happen at the exact same moment for everyone. The message is going to arrive in waves throughout the day, and the moon is the one controlling the schedule. Tomorrow morning, the moon is in Gemini, Mercury's home sign. This is the buzzing, chatty, restless energy of constant communication. Text messages flying, notifications pinging, conversations happening in rapid-fire succession. The moon in Gemini creates the channel for the message to flow. And because Gemini is an air sign, just like Aquarius, the moon forms a perfect trine to the Mercury-Venus conjunction. This is the smoothest, most supportive aspect in astrology. It means the communication flows effortlessly. There's no static on the line. The message gets through. But here's where it gets interesting. Around midday, the moon squares Saturn in Pisces. This is the moment of doubt. This is the hesitation before hitting send. This is the, should I say this? What if they don't feel the same way? This is the fear that almost stops the message from being delivered. But it doesn't stop it, because the person who needs to say, I love you, realizes that the fear of silence is worse than the fear of rejection, and they send it anyway. Then, at 5:30 in the afternoon, the moon enters Cancer, the sign of emotion, nurturing, and the heart, and this is when the message lands. This is when the words drop from the head into the heart. This is when the intellectual understanding becomes an emotional knowing. And as soon as the moon enters Cancer, it squares Neptune in Aries, the planet of dreams, illusions, and the subconscious that just entered a new sign 3 days ago. This square creates a surreal, almost dreamlike quality to the moment. The I love you doesn't just feel like words, it feels like a dream coming true. It feels like something you manifested without even realizing it. It feels like the universe heard a prayer you didn't know you were saying. The dream message phenomenon. So let's put all of this together. What exactly is the dream message, and why is it happening now? The dream message is the convergence of three forces: Neptune's dissolution of boundaries, Mercury's articulation of thought, and Venus's expression of love. It's the moment when the subconscious desire that's been living in your dreams finally finds words in waking reality. For the past few days, since Neptune entered Aries, your dreams have been more vivid, more intense, more meaningful. You might have been dreaming about someone specific. You might have been replaying conversations in your sleep. You might have been receiving downloads, insights, flashes of knowing about a relationship. That's Neptune opening the door to your subconscious. That's the dream world spilling into your waking life. And tomorrow, when Mercury and Venus align, that dream finds a voice, the person you've been thinking about. They've been thinking about you too. The feeling you've been carrying in silence, they've been carrying it too. And tomorrow, one of you, or both of you, will finally say it out loud. This is why it feels telepathic. This is why it feels like fate, because in a way it is. The message isn't random, it's synchronized. Two minds, two hearts, reaching the same realization at the same time, and finally having the courage to speak it. What makes this different from every other day? You might be wondering, people say I love you all the time. What makes tomorrow so special? Here's the difference. The I love you spoken tomorrow carries weight. It carries intention. It carries the numerological signature of master number 22, the master builder. This isn't a casual confession. This isn't a moment of passion that fades when the chemistry cools. This is a foundation. This is the beginning of something that has the potential to become permanent, tangible, real. The people who exchange this message tomorrow are laying the first brick of a future they're going to build together. And because it's happening in Aquarius, the sign of the future, of innovation, of breaking free from tradition, this isn't just about romance, it's about partnership. It's about two people who see each other as equals, who respect each other's freedom, who are committed to supporting each other's evolution. This is the kind of love that doesn't cage. It's the kind of love that liberates. It's the kind of love that says, I see who you're becoming, and I want to build the future with that person. And that's why the Sabian symbol of the lovebirds on the fence is so perfect. The fence isn't a cage, it's a vantage point. It's a place where two people can stand together, above the chaos, and see clearly what they want to create. The silence before the message. If you're reading this and you haven't heard anything yet, don't panic. Remember, the conjunction doesn't reach exactitude until 5 tomorrow morning, and the moon doesn't move into its emotional delivery phase until the evening. The message is coming, but sometimes the most powerful moments are preceded by the deepest silence. Right now, you might be in the void of course period, that strange suspended time when nothing seems to be moving forward. You might feel like you're waiting for something, but you're not sure what. You might have the urge to reach out to someone, but something's holding you back. That's the universe loading. That's the energy gathering, building, preparing to release. The silence isn't empty. It's full of everything that's about to happen. So if you're in the quiet right now, trust it. The lovebirds are finding their fence. The song is forming in their throats. And when the time is right, you'll hear it. After tomorrow, everything changes. The Mercury-Venus conjunction isn't just a single moment in time, it's a portal, and once you step through it, once you hear the message or speak the truth, you can't go back. The world after January 29th isn't the same as the world before it. The relationship dynamic shifts, the level of intimacy deepens, the commitment becomes real. And for the three signs who are most aligned with this energy, Leo, Libra, and Aquarius, life is about to enter a completely new chapter. Because when love is finally spoken, when the dream message is finally delivered, it changes everything. It changes how you see yourself. It changes how you see the other person. It changes what you believe is possible. And that's the real magic of this transit. It's not just about hearing I love you, it's about believing it, it's about letting it in, it's about allowing yourself to be loved in a way that matches the vision you've been carrying in your heart. The lovebirds aren't just sitting on the fence, they're singing, they're celebrating, they're declaring their joy to the world without shame, without fear, without holding back. And tomorrow, so will you. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.